I really like Kirby, and I just wanted to talk about some cool Kirby things. I tried my hardest, but I also can't guarantee that everything in this video is going to be super obscure knowledge or something that you didn't know already. It's more so Kirby trivia and facts that I find pretty interesting. And Kirby pause menu lore has been talked about by a lot of better people than me, so I want to talk about Meta Knight's real identity because I feel like it's not questioned enough. Everyone seems to kind of accept the fact that he's just another Kirby, but we also don't even really know who Kirby is. So if we don't know who Kirby is or what Kirby is, then what is Meta Knight exactly? Well, while not canon, it is under Massive Hero Soccer Guy's direction. Kirby Right Back At Ya says that both Kirby and Meta Knight are a race of warriors called Star Warriors, in which a new generation of warriors incubates in deep space and personal starships. Kirby was called in too early, which is why he's kind of childlike, and Meta Knight is fully grown, which is why he's more matured and skilled. While this explains their origins pretty well, it still leaves up some questions, because the Star Warriors don't exactly all look like Kirby or Meta Knight. I'm not completely sure if being a Star Warrior is a race or like a title given to you, because of translations between Japanese and English it's pretty weird, as well as 4Kids being, well, 4Kids. But it does explain the difference between the personalities of Meta Knight and Kirby, which can also be taken into the main series for us to interpret. You see, my game theory is that Meta Knight is just a fully matured Void Soul, like how the anime suggests that he is just a fully matured Star Warrior. I won't dive in too deep to the whole Void thing from Kirby Star Allies, but the basic gist, or the alleged theory, is that basically Void takes in positive or negative energy and emotions and either becomes someone like Kirby or someone like Dark Matter. While Meta Knight has a pretty villainous appearance, and you find him in almost every game, his actions are almost always noble and virtuous, which leads me to believe he's a positive incarnation of Void. As to why he's darker, he probably either just came out the womb like that, or it's just what happens to Kirbys as they age. We know for a fact that Meta Knight has been in Dreamland for longer than Kirby, judging by how Kirby kinda just shows up one day on Popstar, while Meta Knight already has knowledge about the Dream Rod and several other artifacts on Popstar that he tries to protect by fighting Kirby. As to why he can't use copy abilities like Kirby can, I can't really answer that. I mean, in Kirby Air Riders it's shown that he can, but it's also shown that everybody in that game can, and I'm pretty sure that's just for like the funsies. But either way, I don't really have an answer to my own question, and it's still something I think about. Off the topic of lore, and back to Kirby Right Back At Ya, did you know that the Wii had a Kirby Right Back At Ya channel? Well, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, because this thing was only accessible in European regions. It's exactly as it sounds. It's a Wii channel that lets you watch episodes of the anime, similar to the Pokemon TV thing for the GameCube, except you didn't have to pay for it, and it updated to have new episodes. Here's a little snippet of the trailer for the channel just to get an idea of what it was like.
Tune in to a new Wii channel where fun always takes top billing. On the Kirby TV channel, the star of the show is an all-round hero backed up by a cast of the quirkiest characters on the small screen. Watch Nintendo legend Kirby in action and follow his adventures on planet Popstar as he endures the antics of King DDD and fights for his friends.
Kirby, he's the star of the show. He's more than you think, you got my...
With new episodes available for free twice a week, you can enjoy months of animated action from a true icon of the Nintendo character roster. Keep up with Kirby, and you'll find new ways to watch your favorite episodes again, and get the whole story of Kirby's animated adventures. Get to know Kirby with more than 40 free-to-view episodes. Thanks to the Kirby TV channel for Wii, spending quality time with Kirby couldn't be easier. Watch the premiere from the 23rd of June 2011.
So yeah, it was just that, a place to watch some Kirby. But this wasn't the only way to watch the anime. Remember college humor? Sorry, let me be a little more specific. Remember watching college humor on your 3DS through Nintendo Video? Well, I do. I have a lot of memories of staying up really late under my covers watching Dinosaur Office and Bravest Warriors on this thing. Nintendo Video also had episodes of the Kirby anime on it. My first exposure to Kirby Right Back At Ya was on Nintendo Video. It had a whole exclusive episode entirely in 3D, and if you haven't watched it already, I really recommend it because the ending of the 3D special is just really great. It's really weird. I always say that a lot of Kirby Right Back At Ya is just strange. Aside from the 3DS special being entirely CGI, there are just so many weird moments of CGI with King DDD, Askergoon, Kirby, and just other random enemies or power-ups. I mean, I get it. there's like no budget, but Kirby is a circle. It can't be that hard to animate him, right? Well, maybe it is hard, because the original pilot that is also still up on YouTube is also mostly CGI, and it has a lot of interesting things about it, and if you haven't watched it, I would really recommend it. I feel like that Kirby Right Back At Ya needs its own deep dive. I haven't really experienced it in a while. I feel like a lot of people haven't really watched it besides the awesome animated collab. I just feel like it's a topic for another day. If you haven't watched the Kirby anime yet, I would recommend it. I'm probably saving my thoughts for a different video at a different time, but we'll see. But just like how 4Kids changed a lot of the anime, Nintendo of America has also changed and localized a lot of Kirby. This is pretty well known, but the mint leaf is actually a localized thing. You see, in the Japanese version of the game, it's a sweet potato. Because in Place Japan, sweet potatoes are known to give you hiccups, which is why Kirby lets out a puff of air when he eats it. This has changed obviously because we don't share that same kind of myth, and instead we replaced it with minty cold breath. While that fact is a bit of a lighter note, I was digging in the cutting room floor for Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii, and there's this super creepy unused scream for killing Magalore in different phases. Take a listen. What's weirder than this is that in the Nintendo Switch Remaster, Dreamland Deluxe, there's a jukebox where you can play all of the music, and one of the tracks that you can obtain is under the title Fake Finale, which is this exact audio. For whatever reason that they put this in here, I don't know, but the audio is cut off, and allegedly you can also hear this clip when you defeat Megalore EX, but I'm not too sure on that. There's also this death screen from the Amazing Mirror prototype where Kirby's face is down, bleeding out, and to be honest, it sounds pretty bad, but it's actually pretty funny. The text above it says, "I knew it was impossible," which I can only imagine is Kirby's inner dialogue as he bleeds out. I find it fitting because Amazing Mirror is on the more difficult side of Kirby games. Aside from things that are unreleased, what's something that you can actually find in-game? Well, there's a hidden perfect screen in Kirby's Dream Land 3's Boss Butch mode, and if you make it all the way to the end to defeat Zero, hold X, L, and R before the screen fades to get this hidden perfect screen. I don't know why they had the need to hide this, because I think it's pretty cool, but I think it was more of a mistake than anything. I think they just forgot to code it in, because this seems like a really weird Easter egg to hide. But speaking of Dreamland 3's Easter eggs, it has a lot of them, and most of them are crossovers with other Nintendo properties. One of the most famous ones is Samus from Metroid, or the Firefly from Mario, but did you know that Rob the Robot is also here? Well, if you 100% of the game, then you had to do this quest, but Rob is found in the 6th level of Sand Canyon, and if you give all of his parts to Professor Hector at the end of the stage, he can put them back together. To go a bit backwards more into the Kirby catalog, in Kirby's Dream Land 2, there's a very, very naughty secret in level 5 of Red Canyon. Now, this looks like a normal room, right? Well, zoom out and you can actually see the entire section is actually a naked woman.
I can't believe they let that get past the censors. For those of you who don't get the joke, the joystick is a metaphor for pussy!
Now to jump forward in games, if you've played Kirby Superstar, you know that in the Great Cape Offensive, there's items from other franchises like the Triforce, Cybershell, and other crossover items. Well, in Superstar Ultra Remake, some of these items are actually changed to reflect the games that released at the time. For example, the Dud gets replaced by the Cell Phone from Amazing Mirror, the Autumn Time is replaced by the 3-star cane from Squeak Squad, and Winter Time is replaced by the gold watering can from Animal Crossing. There are a couple more, but I think you get the idea. As you can tell, Kirby likes to reference a lot of other games. I expect no less from the guy who made Smash Bros. But what about other media that's referenced Kirby? In the SNES game Arcana, you can spot 2 Kirbys in its opening cutscene. I'm not sure why or what the relationship between this game and Kirby is, but they're there. This next one is pretty well known, but a fake Kirby shows up in Link's Awakening called Anti-Kirby. He appears in all versions of the game, including the Switch remake. Link's Awakening has a couple other references to different video games, most notably Mario and this really obscure RPG where you turn into a frog, but that's off topic. In the GameCube game Donkey Konga, you can play the Kirby anime opening. You can also purchase a sound set to make the bongos have Kirby 64 sound effects. What's cool about this one is that Donkey Konga 2 and 3 will recognize if you have the Kirby sound set on your memory card, and you'll be able to use them in those games too. On the topic of music, Geometry Dash, while not being affiliated with Nintendo, has a lot of cosmetics that look very similar to Kirby and Meta Knight. That's kind of all I wanted to get off my chest. I know this is really different than my other videos, but I was thinking of doing more things like this in the future, even if they are less comical. But yeah, that's the end of the video.
Fuck you.